thanks for being at Reach for the Stars. You have so many fans that have been following you ever since you were first on Days of Our Lives. What is it, do you think it is about the couple of Justin and Adrian that have so captured soap fans?
I think it's that whole rich playboy guy, wrong girl from the poor side of the tracks. I mean, everybody, well, I don't know if everybody, but we all dream about our Prince Charming coming in to sweep us up and have fireworks for us and put a big engagement ring in a little paper boat. I mean, Justin is so romantic, and we always look, you know, that's the dream guy, you know?
He was definitely a fantasy.
Yeah.
He was a fantasy. And I mean, that was your story.
Yeah.
And for me, my story was like, yeah, I was just this playboy, kind of like, just like, you know, hooking up with the next, you know, sexual escapade. And then I met you, and you sort of made me, you know, think about life in a different way. And I think that was interesting. You know, so then, and like you said, you saw it was like two people coming from two different worlds, and how does that work out? And there's a lot of obstacles there, and we, you know, and that's really what that was about. And actually, there probably would have been even more obstacles. They got us married quickly. Right. If they always regretted, Al always regretted.
Should have waited.
There should have been more obstacles in the sense that we could have. Yeah, we would have found our way, ourselves with other people and then finally gotten back together, but they decided, let's try something new. Which is interesting because let's try something new, and they got us married. And then they didn't know how to figure out, like, well, now what?
It was hard to
they
talk.
realized that when you are married, and it's true, I mean, you look at primetime series, very rarely does a married couple start on a show. It's like it's hard.
Moonlighting. You know,
they weren't married.
No, I know. I'm saying it's the build up. Are they? Aren't they? And then, you know, once you get together, then it's like.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember Deborah telling me, like Ally McBeal, those two characters that were married. Like, why did they do that?
Right.
Because but they had to have some kind of conflict. But what's his name had a relationship with Ally, but he was married. So and then yeah, it's just so you. Marriage is difficult on a soaps.
In real life, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
But it's the KOD, kiss of death on a soap.
Yeah.
Almost. Unless you get married 3 or 4 times.
And then that's what happened. We end up getting married and like, you know, doing it over. And now it's like, really?
I think
people really want to see a 4th wedding between Justin and Adrian?
We're just going to live together.
Yeah, I think so. They're not even mentioning it.
Well, it's hard to top that first wedding too because it was in Greece in this beautiful church.
It's true.
Shot on location.
Yes.
I mean, you know, how do you top that? So, you know, I agree. Was that your favorite storyline together as a couple, that Greek wedding? Or?
That first year was pretty magical. I mean, it was pretty magical. All the music and all the romance and all the drama. And yeah, it was like, yeah, I mean, you know, most stories, that's about it. You know, we told a lot of story that very first year.
In 1 year.
And, you know, most stories end at the wedding, right? Most love stories end when they're married. And happily ever after. And we just kept going. So that was sort of a nice ending to that really pretty intense, amazing, magical first year. Yeah. Was that Greek wedding.
Well, we've had some fun storylines in the last year or so. How was the experience for you playing Bonnie, revisiting that character again?
I love that character.
Yeah.
She's so naughty. And I like to think that she says what everybody else is thinking, and she can get away with, well, even murder. No, she's a lot of fun, and I think she and Justin would make a really good pairing.
She was trying.
Funny, I have to say, it's really funny. Justin, there's something about Bonnie that I gotta say whenever I'm with Bonnie, I'm like, wow, she's kind of a naughty Adrian, isn't she?
And she did give you a
Of course,
good
I never
kiss.
get to say it. I never get to say it or experience, but Wally's always like, I'm always like, Justin's kind of liking Bonnie right now. But I don't have the dialogue, but if I did, I'd be like,
You'd still be there.
You're kind of fun.
You know, another fun thing for me, because, you know, I watched from the 80s too, is the return of Angelica coming back into your storyline, this time played by Morgan Fairchild. How was it for you guys going back? Did you have to like look at old YouTube clips or remember that storyline, or was it like
that was so funny because Morgan came on and I did one scene with her. One scene with her.
That's it.
I mean, you and I.
Right.
Well, we did run some stuff with her, like the three of us.
But very little.
But I only had one-on-one scene with her, which was like one scene in one episode,
right.
Which was so bizarre because the whole reason why she came back was to steal Justin, but yet they didn't do any scenes with us.
Oh my God, you're right.
It was very odd.
It was very odd.
It was very odd. I remember just thinking like, oh. I remember hearing her say like, "Yeah, I'm here to get Justin back." I'm like, "Oh, you are?" I mean, you're only talking to Patch and you and all these other people. You haven't even had a scene with me yet. What? You'd think that you would like see if there's anything there.
You made love to her so well.
Evidently, she could not get Justin out of her
30
mind.
years later, she was just crazy it still.
Could not forget about me. Justin.
Right.
Justin, incredible.
Justin,
Just incredible.
You were just incredible.
I've always wanted to ask you this, Wally, because I remember Jane Elliott playing Angelica was Justin's lover. Then go to General Hospital, and she's playing your mother on the show. Did you guys ever joke about it or think it was weird or anything?
She used to say, "Wally, it took me a while to get over my habit of not looking at you wanting to want me, because that's just wrong." Because so much of Angelica was like wanting Justin to want me, as actors do. That's the character. So she's like, because that's just wrong.
As a mother, yes,
that's just wrong. And I went, you know what, Jane? I think that's because I was kind of mad. I didn't have a problem with me because not that I hated her, but I had already pushed her away, and she was like a person that was like, I don't want her in my life. And that was kind of my character with Ned and Tracy. I called her Tracy, I didn't call her mother. It was just like, she was like the worst mother ever for me. So my disdain for that character sort of correlated with my disdain for, Angelica. So it wasn't so hard for me, but it was hard for her.
I'd seen you on Twitter tweet about an independent film you're doing with Brody Hutzler.
Yes.
Who played your son, Patrick Lockhart, Bonnie Lockhart, so it's kind of like worlds colliding seeing that shot. Can you tell us a little bit about that movie?
Absolutely. It's called Intensive Care. It's a thriller. I believe it's coming out on Lifetime. It was a lot of fun because actually Laura Wright is in it, Brody Hutzler, oh goodness, there's several people from Daytime who are in it, and Jade Harlow. So it was nice to see Brody. We didn't have any scenes together, but it was nice. Mother and son reunited. Of course, that always was a little hard for me too, because he's only 7 years younger. And I was like, when they hired him, and I was like, do I look that old? But no, so it was nice seeing him again.
Oh. Well, other recent news, it was great to see Days of Our Lives win so many Daytime Emmys this year.
It really was. It was great.
And for you, it had to have been surreal because you were nominated for Ned on General Hospital while Days of Our Lives was winning for Best Show. What was the experience like sort of representing both shows at the same time at the Daytime Emmys?
Weird.
I would think so.
Weird. And last year, I sat with Days of Our Lives and General Hospital went up and won for Best Show. And this year, I sat with General Hospital and watched Days of Our Lives go up for Best Show. It's weird.
So you're a lucky charm. If you're sitting there with another show, the other show's going to win.
Yeah.
You're a lucky charm.
I mean, I feel so fortunate about, and I was going to say that in my speech too. You make a comment, just like, look, I love what I do. I love my job. I love acting. And I love telling stories for a living. And so I thank both networks and both shows for allowing me to be a part of their families. But it's weird when during the old who wins what award, like you want to celebrate.
Who do you root for?
And then when they win, it's like, can I celebrate with them? No, I gotta sit on my hands. I mean, I wasn't gonna get up and walk up there with them, but so I'm like watching my family go up there and get an award, and I'm like. You know what I mean?
I know, it's
just
hard.
kind of weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
Weird.
And so it was weird last year, and it was weird this year. and I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to change it because I like working. That's
Right.
all. But I mean,
Well, that's
in most worlds you wouldn't. I mean, in most other careers you wouldn't have this sort of big award thing every year that you have to like
On TV.
sit with one
Right.
team or the other.
Right.
If you're a freelance worker, you'd work. You know,
Both
you work
teams.
for both teams,
Work
and
both
then
ends.
you. And you don't, and there's no award that has to be given out at the end of the year. You just do your job.
Right.
And I feel like I'm just doing my job. I work here, I work there, and that's how it goes. A lot of actors do work for different shows.
Right.
They're all over the place. And that's all I'm doing. But when it comes to awards, it seems to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah. Well, I heard you guys talk a little bit about this earlier tonight, but just do you have a message for the fans who love your work and follow your
Yeah, you know, it's just that, it really, I just love telling stories for a living. I love what I do, and I'm lucky man that I'm still being able to be sent scripts at my age and invited to come and show up and perform these roles that I've been playing for 30 years. And how lucky is that? How lucky am I? And, and coming to these events, honestly, and, and bring my guitar and I sing songs, which is telling stories. And, I'm just lucky that I can still be doing it and that people still want to listen to me and still interested in, hearing what I have to say.
And it's wonderful to be able to come, especially to these events, but even in our daily life, when people come up to say, oh my gosh, I watch you. It's an opportunity for us to say, thank you. Thank you for allowing us and giving us the opportunity to be able to do something that we love to do that in any other lifetime or any other plane of existence wouldn't occur. So it's a great opportunity to be able to say thank you, because truly the fans are the heart of the shows, and also the fans are the people who put the food on our table, who allow us to do what we love to do. I mean, it's
a very unusual relationship,
yes.
in a way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
special.
That's really true.
Special.
I mean, it is. I mean, there's a viewer, and there's an artist, and so forth. So there's a mutual exchange.
Without the viewer, there is no artist.
Yeah.
Without the artist, there is no viewer.
Yeah.
So it's a symbiotic.
Symbiotic. That's the word I was thinking of. But it just
I got that from Star Wars.
didn't come to me at this time of day.
After
Yeah.
cocktail hour.
Your Cinco de Mayo drink.
Cinco de
Cinco de
Mayo.
Mayo, yes.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. Independence from
I have no
Cinco
idea.
de
Mexico
Mayo.
is it Mexico? It's in Mexico.
France. It's their independence from France because it's the 5th of May and 16th of September, 16 de septiembre, is their independence from Spain.
Oh.
September, Spain, SS, 5th of May, France. That's how my dad taught me.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, see? You learn something new. And